This is the Democratic Republic of Congo, one of the largest, poorest and most violent countries in Africa. Almost a quarter of the size of the US, the DRC possesses a wealth of untapped raw minerals, worth an estimated $24 trillion. But post-colonial destabilization and widespread corruption have led to the country's economic collapse. Combine this with a bloody conflict that pitted government forces against rebel insurgents, and the DRC faces a humanitarian crisis. In response, Médecins Sans Frontières, or Doctors Without Borders, the world's largest medical aid organization, has launched an emergency campaign. Their focus includes the east of the country, where people remain terrorized by marauding militia and the army. This series covers 3 months in the lives of the staff and patients of Médecins Sans Frontières as they cope with the unpredictable and often harsh reality that is life in the DRC. Welcome to South Kivu, a mountainous region in the northeast of the DRC. This is where a special team from Doctors Without Borders, or Médecins Sans Frontières, calls home. This is MSF's emergency team. They can be sent on exploratory missions anywhere and at any time in this part of the country to help people in need. An expat's mission can last up to 9 months with no guarantee of regular meals or even a place to sleep. Constantly on the move from one emergency to the next, they deal with disease and displaced people every day. After sunset, it's too dangerous to leave camp. But despite this, people from all over the world feel drawn to work in Congo. Danny Bewolf from Belgium is based in Shabunda, a small town in South Kivu.
Working for MSF is like, I get paid to be somewhere I really want to be, and I love it. Every day is different. There's something new, there's something unexpected.
As a field coordinator, Danny's job is to make sure MSF's clinics operate smoothly.
Here is a health center Bangayo with a nice plane, not an MSF plane, we don't crash. So here we have the central part, and over there, on the other side of the plane, you have the maternity. Jambo. Jambo. Habari.
Building strong relationships with the local population is imperative to the work Danny is trying to do. He holds regular meetings with the village authorities. These get-togethers are one of his most important responsibilities. Today there is bad news. There's been a rebel attack in the south of the territory.
According to the rumors been happening in Shabunda, there seem to be movements of military troops, FDLR and other militia.
Constant rebel attacks keep the emergency team here very busy. A rich mining industry makes the area exceptionally valuable. And this, in turn, makes South Kivu one of the most dangerous places in the DRC. Every day, warring militias inflict terrible crimes like rape, mutilation and kidnapping on innocent civilians to maintain control of the region. Just recently, a small village called Ndezi has been attacked and burned down.
Mimi nazaliwa hapa Ndese, ni makao yangu na ni kwangu kwenye minazalika. Sasa ikafika huko. Bautu bakaingia mu mji. Batu wakasambalana. Manaki kila mtu aikimbiliaka njoo mtoto. Tukagomboa watoto. Baadaye saba na atake mjini vile banalunguza. Ikafikia wakati mwa bakakamata kijana shujaa kuniacha hata mimi. Baba wa watoto 12, wanaume tu. Kuchinja saa vile mbuzi. Uya ku 40 minutes hivi wakaenda kule. Manake hapa tuko tunaishiwa hatuna kitu, majengo nyi peke mko munaona.
The new reports of militia activity in the area concern Danny. He calls another MSF field coordinator, Federico Carboni, who works in the nearby village of Matili, to learn more about the rebel attacks.
So I was wondering if you had more info on what happened in the south. Okay, but we're gonna take the road in half an hour towards your position, and well, we'll see you later. And do I have to bring something? Your cornflakes? Okay, see you soon. Bye. I had some info first from the administration of the territory that there were attacks in the south of Matili. So basically going over there and finding out what's happening. Never leave without your iPod.
Just 30 kilometers from Shabunda, the journey to Matili should take less than an hour. But traveling in the Congo is never that simple. These roads are always tough to navigate, but the rainy season has made them virtually impassable. Federico is the field coordinator for Matili. During his 9 months in the Congo, he's worked in the country's most violent regions and has regularly come face to face with the militias and the army. Due to the volatile situation in the area, Federico has set up provisional MSF base in Matili. He has information for Danny on the recent rebel attacks.
Marie,
Ça va?
On entend directement quand tu arrives.
Hein?
On entend directement quand tu arrives. Et donc lui, c'est ce qu'il me dit, hein, c'est plutôt des gens qui sont dans la forêt, qui travaillent dans les mines dans la forêt. Ils ont vu des patrouilles FDLR. Les FDLR ont commencé à prendre des gens.
Ok. Ça va.
The rumored attacks in South Matili have created an unsettled atmosphere amongst the locals. So Federico and Danny meet a commander from the Congolese army to assess the situation.
Un chiffre qui est sorti, combien d'assaillants qu'il y avait plus ou moins ou...
On a parlé de 25 FDLR.
Ok.
Vous rendre sur... Quand est-ce que vous comptez vous rendre sur place, hein?
Demain très tôt le matin.
Ça va.
Danny and Federico make the decision to visit the attack site the next morning. But a bad road accident could put an end to their plans.
j'ai au moins 135 dessus.
130 130 6500 kilos,
Oui, c'est
plus le camion.
plus sous les camions, c'est combien?
Tu es courageux, hein?
Non, je suis quoi?
It's 13 tons on a small bridge like that, it's normal today. If we now have like emergency situation in Kalole or Mungembe and we have to transfer patients, then we might, well, the car can only come to here, which is ridiculous because it's 1 kilometer from the hospital. So we have to do everything by motorbike. We're Médecins sans Frontières, we're not construction sans frontières.
The only way they can now reach the village is by motorbike. But Federico will have to continue without Danny.
Well, I have to go back to Shabunda because there's still lots of other things that wait, which I have to look into. But there's quite a lot of administrative bullshit that I have to take care of. So.
Apparently there is rumor about movement of population, some fight between FDLR and so on, but it's only rumor, so it's why we need to go and to confirm or not, and also we need to go and see if there is wounded people and people affected by this violence and to give them assistance.
This is Hauts Plateaux, a vast mountainous region of South Kivu, and home to several rebel factions. In charge of Médecins Sans Frontières in this region is Philippe Havet. With more than 15 years of experience in the field, and having worked in some of the most dangerous countries in the world, he's earned the respect and admiration of everyone around. Philippe is on one of his regular visits to the MSF base here.
For me, in Congo, for MSF here, this is one of the most difficult projects, mostly for security reasons. You know, today is okay, maybe this night is fighting here, maybe, hope no, hope no, but this is possible, everything is possible. We work for everyone, total neutrality, total impartiality. This is not our war, our conflict.
Philippe must travel on foot. There are no roads here, and his journey will take him through tough terrain in one of Congo's most dangerous regions.
We go to Kivu, it's far from here, it's around, I think 30-40 kilometers, and this is between 7 and 12 hours. It's very difficult. And we have a lot of risk because here we can meet many different factions on the way. And my faction FDLR or governmental troop. That's why we must be prudent. All of them know MSF, we work for everyone. We work with the Hauts Plateaux, you know. They're carrying around 15 and 20 kilos each. They are incredible. The safari, this is our guide. Since I come here, since the beginning of this year, every trip I did with him. And all of them, they know very well about MSF. And they make a great job. Without them, we cannot work. That is clear.
Communication with the rebels is essential, and Philippe has worked hard to keep MSF's fragile relationship with them going. Regular meetings allow the doctors to keep working safely, but the situation can change at any moment, and information can prove unreliable. After trekking for over 5 hours, Philippe gets news that a rebel group has attacked and looted an MSF hospital in the area. He calls the rebel commander.
Colonel, c'est Philippe. Colonel, vos éléments ont pris l'hôpital de Katanga. Ils l'ont pris, je pense que c'est hier ou ce matin. Mais ils ont occupé toute la zone de l'hôpital, ils sont dans l'hôpital. Mais essayez de les appeler, qu'il n'y ait pas de problème. Je serai là demain matin, moi je vais aller demain à l'hôpital. Allez, go. Ah.
Federico has been traveling over rough terrain for 3 hours. Often, the only way the emergency teams can reach remote areas is by off-road bike. After an eventful journey, Federico finally reaches Tussisi, where he can meet with the army commander. The arrival of expats often causes excitement amongst the locals, especially the children. but the elders have an unorthodox method of dealing with them. The army commander has been to the village that was attacked. He has information that Federico needs to hear.
Donc ça c'est le village qui a été attaqué.
Zinga.
Okay.
According to the commander, there are no immediate casualties in Kazinga. But Federico wants to take the opportunity to provide more general healthcare in the area and decides to do the trip the next day.
As is not bad as expected. There is no people dying on the road and that need really an assistance. So yeah, we can go back tomorrow with more appropriate drugs and so on.
Federico and a team of doctors will leave for the village the next day. But this means a long, hard journey back to Matili for supplies.
Today is Friday and most of my friends are in the office and me doing motorbike. But it's true that sometimes you say why I'm not in the office instead of walking. It's raining, it's muddy, it's cold. And I just want to go to be home or to be in the office with a beautiful colleague and so on, and to have a nice gathering restaurant and nice lunch. Now it's almost 9 months I'm doing this emergency in Congo and I start to be very tired, so it's time for me to go back for 1 month in Europe to rest.
Back in Hauts Plateaux, after a difficult 8-hour trek, Philippe arrives exhausted at the base in Kivu. The MSF staff who live here are happy to see him. Overlooking Hauts Plateaux, the base sits in the middle of the Manyamolenge community. These are Congolese Tutsis who made their home here after they fled war-torn Rwanda. This is also militia territory. Fighting among the different rebel factions is frequent, making this one of the most dangerous places in the Congo. For their own safety, MSF does not allow female expats to work in this project. And because of its reputation, there is currently only one expat who works in the Kivu. The man in charge is ferry shippers. And working for MSF is not the only job he's had.
After high school, I just was tramping around. Actually, I was packing boxes, cutting wood, cutting grass. Then I became a hotel restaurant manager. Then I was a firefighter instructor in outdoor sports. Studied medicine for about 6 years. I'm general manager of a couple of restaurants, and I'm a field coordinator in Congo. Yeah, just about it. This is an amazing country. Look around here. I mean, it looks so peaceful. The downside is, like, it looks peaceful, but there's a lot of movements, military movements going on, people shooting each other.
Darkness is descending on Hauts Plateaux. Philippe is keen to get to Katanga. But unable to travel at night, he will have to wait until morning. He's exhausted, but at least he can have a meal and a good night's sleep.
trying to teach the cooks how to do it. Man. Zo, kom zo. No. Break it open. Yeah, normally they scramble them. The first time I did this, they would just have those weird faces. What are you doing? No. Also, what I tried was goat with a marinade of honey. They were afraid of that as well. But those guys here, they eat almost every day this thing. It looks gross, but it tastes good. Very nice.
Meanwhile, Philippe prepares to set off to Katanga Hospital, a 3-hour walk from the base. He's keen to find out what happened during the rebel attack.
Ils savent, tu leur dis de prendre la route la plus facile, la route la plus facile, il faut qu'il y ait.
On this remote hilltop is Katanga Hospital, where MSF has a surgical team. It's the only place for miles where the local population can receive medical treatment. Here, MSF medical staff treat everything from victims of violence to more happy affairs. As soon as Philippe arrives, he immediately talks to the Congolese staff about the rebel attack.
De l'autre côté, disent que non, nous venons de Makopo là. Beaucoup. Bon.
Ceux qui pouvaient manger, et qui sont trouvés dans les stocks des gens. Les pommes de terre, les maïs qu'ils ont stockés, ils ont récupéré.
Avec toi, ils ont été corrects. Avec vous.
Relieved that everything is okay after the attack, Philippe can now head back to base.
Ça va, tu vas maintenant? Je ne me sens pas bien depuis hier.
Tu es trop fatigué.
Je ne sais pas, j'ai une série habituée, j'ai mal à l'estomac, j'ai tout le temps envie de vomir. Je me sens faible.
Peut-être que tu es monté avec un peu de paludisme.
Halfway through the walk back, Philippe slows down. Something is wrong.
Gustave, j'en peux plus. Il n'y a pas les petits poils ici. Je suis malade comme le chien. C'est vrai que je ne suis pas comme ça.
The staff are worried. They don't know what is wrong with Philippe. But Philippe is getting worse, and they are a long way from base. Night is falling, and they need to get out of militia territory. Whilst heading back to Kivu, Philippe takes an unexpected turn for the worse. He has collapsed several times. With his health rapidly deteriorating and hours away from base, he needs urgent medical assistance. Worried for his life, the staff call base for help.
Ok, demande à Alexis de nous envoyer la civière qui se trouve au centre de santé à toi.
Philippe's condition is steadily getting worse. He needs to be seen by a doctor as soon as possible. The porters will have to carry him back up over the mountain to the base at Kivu. It's a race against time. Back at base, there's no time to lose. The doctors immediately examine Philippe. He is gravely ill. They suspect he has a severe case of malaria. This could be a life-threatening illness, and without the right hospital care, he could be in serious danger. Ferry realizes the only solution is a medical evacuation. The team frantically try to arrange a way out for Philippe.
Hello, this is Ferry, MSF Spain. Philippe is here in the Hauts Plateaux. He has to be evacuated because he cannot go on foot.
But there's a problem. They might have to use a helicopter that belongs to MONUC, the United Nations military force in the Congo.
The MONUC is working with the FRDC, with the Congolese army, right? And we have to stay neutral. So if we get associated with the MONUC, that it will hinder us a lot.
If Philippe travels in this helicopter, he could endanger the already fragile relationship between MSF and the rebel groups.
Essayons tous les moyens de trouver soit le CICR, soit une compagnie privée. Et si vraiment on n'arrive à rien avoir en ce moment, on est obligé de faire recours à la MONUC, quoi.
Hi, this is Ferry Kivu. I would like to ask you if there is a possibility that we can medevac him with some helicopter from Burundi and maybe just transport him to Buja. We talked with Floribert. We stressed that listen, it's the MONUC is our last option.
But this is one of our concerns. Yeah, MONUC are not neutral and they follow and they support the governmental troops. This is very dangerous for us.
I just have to find a solution, and I don't care which one, but I'm gonna find one, that's it.
Finding a place for the helicopter to land is not going to be easy. This is a mountainous region, full of trees and few flat areas.
We just have to ask the pilot what his preference are, like in a not windy area, lower or on top of the hill, where it might be windy. Depends on the quality and the experience of the helicopter pilot.
Ferry has tried everything. He now has no option but to go for the United Nations military helicopter.
Ok, ça doit être clair que le MONUC est la dernière soir. Ok, merci beaucoup. Allez, à tantôt. À plus. Ça va être le MONUC peut-être. We have to medevac by MONUC. Yeah. So I just gave them the coordinates where they can land. If we get the confirmation, I have to go back to the field and make like not like a landing strip, but like a marking where they can easily land.
With everything set for Philippe's evacuation, Ferry prepares the landing area.
Mojapa. Mojapa, Mojapa.
Ah ja.
Oh, moi je vais avoir un hache. Zo, comme ça. C'est très grand, hein.
Everyone has to be at that distance where the new health center is.
Back at base, the MSF team get ready to move Philippe to the landing area.
On a personal level, I know Philippe, apart from the fact that he is ill, he hates it a lot that he cannot do what he wants to do. Because Philippe is always active. I mean, he's always in the field, and now he has to lay down. I mean, that must be a torture. So as far as that's concerned, yeah, something to learn from for him, just to stay quiet for a while.
They've been waiting over an hour for the helicopter to arrive. The weather is changing. It's raining, and the clouds are closing in. Ferry worries that the helicopter might not show up due to the weather conditions. He sends Philippe to a nearby church where they can take cover from the rain.
Normally we were waiting for the helicopter to arrive, but I think it's kind of late now to arrive because it's not a normal landing strip, you know, like it's kind of dark now. So waiting for info from the helicopter. I guess that they might be arriving tomorrow morning early, but I don't have any confirmation yet. Actually, I'm not at all in the clear here. I'm a bit disappointed, I might say.
It's early the next morning, and the UN helicopter has arrived, unannounced. With a slight improvement in the weather, they now have a small window of time to evacuate Philippe.
Hey, how you doing? What is wrong with the patient? He's unconscious?
No, he's conscious.
Yes.
He is better than yesterday, but he is very weak.
Okay.
A helicopter is a rare sight in Hauts Plateaux, and one of the locals is very keen to get a glimpse of it. After a long journey from Matili, Federico and the medical staff have reached the remote village of Kikamba. The first thing he needs to do is meet the local army captain to find out about the rebel attacks.
Mais voilà, donc on va venir aujourd'hui. On voulait déjà venir plusieurs fois travailler ici à Kikamba. On a vu beaucoup d'urgences à faire au niveau de Natili, Shabunda.
Donc pour le moment, il y a du calme et les environs de Kikamba, c'est du calme qui règne pour le moment.
The captain just confirmed already what we hear about what happened beginning of the week. So it was one village that was attacked. Apparently, so they attacked the village. Most of the village escaped, but few people were captured by the kidnapped. But yeah, so now it's back to normal and everything is fine.
With no urgent medical cases, Federico can now set up his team and start seeing people for more general medical treatment.
This is the health center where we plan to work. We will stay 2 days because it takes 4 hours and 30 minutes to come to here.
They have brought medical supplies and a whole medical team from Atili. The MSF doctors will set up a provisional health center in the village. They will screen the population for various illnesses and diseases.
Non, tu prends ton carton et tu vas me l'installer, tu le déballes à l'intérieur, ici.
The locals are in great need of medical assistance. Since MSF left the area 5 years ago, the only medical care they've received has been from the Congolese Ministry of Health. But under the government system, patients are expected to pay for healthcare themselves. This means that many people cannot afford to be treated. Word has spread that Doctors Without Borders is in town to assist them. And it's no surprise that the locals flock to the clinic in their hundreds.
Mais qui fait la sécurité à cette porte? C'est n'importe quoi. Tu me vires, tu vides cette pièce parce que sinon on n'y arrive pas. Maintenant, la personne qui fait le contrôle, je veux pas d'un ivrogne. Parce que là tu m'as donné un gars qui avait beaucoup bu. Ça je veux pas.
To ensure everyone is seen, Federico sets up a very basic numbering system. But people in the Congo have their own way of doing things.
Qui sont ces gens? La maman aveugle, c'est une priorité. Le papa, c'est une priorité. Fais comme ça. Non, mais ça c'est pas grave. Ces chefs de village, ça donne pas de droit particulier. Donc je vais leur demander d'attendre dehors.
At last, Federico and the staff have settled in. And finally, people can be treated.
La maman avait maintenant allumé une lampe. De faire, au lieu de mettre sur la table, avait mettre quelque part. Après des moustiquaires, des birés, toutes mes histoires avec l'enfant.
We will give the bandage and everything to the nurse in charge of this health center, and every 2 days the father will come with the baby, and like that the nurse can make the bandage. Of course, I had to treat him a little bit by telling him, okay, I give you this, but don't go to the market to sell everything. This is for your children. Now, from my side, it's done. Everything is okay, and we can go back home. It's a good day.
Back in the mountains, Ferry's never-ending crusade for better eating continues as he tries to share his recipes with the Congolese staff. However, they don't seem quite so keen on his culinary experiments.
C'est pas normal ici au Plateau. Nous aimons ce mec la chair. Comme ça, non?
What I would like to do is to teach her another way of cooking. And maybe it will trigger her creativity a little bit.
Halfway through the cooking lesson, Ferry receives news on Philippe's health.
Dr. Momo want to tell us Philippe is good now. And they confirm typhoid fever.
So you were right.
Yes, right.
It's good.
It's good for us.
It's good for us, but it was a little bit less for Philip, of course. But you did a good job. I like to work with the ideals of Médecins Sans Frontières and the knowledge that we are actually adding something to the medical care in this area, which is very much needed to make the life a little bit easier for these people. You know, I'd really like to work with the local people because it's not a judgment, but they are basic. They're simple. Around here, people have to walk for hours and sometimes for days just to get medical care. Sometimes they have to work for 8 hours to go to the market to sell 1 bucket of potatoes. And we just go to the local market on foot or by taxi and we just buy it. It makes me more appreciate the life I'm living. If I reflect on my life, I cannot be happier. I mean, I have everything.
Among the chaos, the crises, and the violence, the limitations and the difference between the cultures is where MSF thrives. In the knowledge that they are just humans helping other humans in very difficult circumstances.
Friends, even if you explain them, I don't think they clearly understand what we are doing. They stay at this level about this kind of romantic approach of humanitarian, which is carrying a rice bag and taking small little black kids dying, and this kind of Bob Geldof image. It's not just taking a box of drugs and going to assist people. It's more complex, more complicated sometimes. You love it as much as you hate it, huh? So that's the thing, huh? Of course you have fantastic things that you will never see in other places. You really have strong things, strong experience in Congo. But sometimes you want to just close the door and go back and never come back. You live terrible things. But for all bad things that happen to you, you always have a good things, and it's really extreme way.